Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. You may be saying, Kathya is sounding so excited because we are now 3 days away from the ISA Boys and Girls Championships. And if you're on the live, if you join us live on Facebook and or on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica, you will see a hint, just a small hint of the school that I support. Just a small hint. It's not too big. It's not too big. But if you know me, you know what school I support at this time of the year. But we're gonna be having at 1:30. So in the final half of the show, I have two special persons, two sports analysts. One who I truly admire. I'm so happy that she has decided to join me in talking about champs. But listeners, you have an important. So if you're listening on Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, you have an important job. Just a reminder, the WhatsApp number is 997-3125. Your job right now is to tell me what school are you supporting for the ISA Boys and Girls Championship. Which school are you carrying? What is your school? And if you don't have a school and you know about track and field, which school you want to win? Or which athlete you're looking forward to their performance next week? I will go and talk about that later, right? So it's an exciting show lined up today. March 16, 2024 is titled or champs preview. Of course, we'll go through some interesting things. Jamaica had some winners last week at the NCAA Indoor Championship. So we'll talk about those as well. Jamaica has also declared their Carifta team for Grenada. Right. Carifta Grenada, which will happen on Easter weekend. So that's 1 week after champs. So you can see a beer. Track and field, what up? But don't tell anybody that. Don't tell anybody. Then the other things are going up. We're also going to be talking about, what's going to be happening tomorrow is an important day as it relates to the Jamaica Football Federation. So, we've been talking about things from last year and the FF, yeah, man. Finally going to keep them elections next tomorrow. Right. Finally going to keep them. So, before we do that, so as I said, exciting show lined up. I have two amazing sports analysts later on in the show. But again, listeners, your task, you're listening on Facebook, YouTube, send me a WhatsApp, 876-997-3125. Tell me what team you are supporting for the ISA ISA Boys and Girls Championship. Tell me now if you have a girls' school, if you have a boys' school, if you're carrying to school, if you're a bandwagon, they say you're jumping from school to school. Yeah, just tell me about it. Tell me about it. But first, as we start our show every week, we're going to start with our sports highlights. All right. And of course, we start with our sports highlights as, the Jamaica Premier League. So the domestic football competition in Jamaica always takes spotlight, as I do feel like they need to be recognized. So I always start with them. So we'll look at the matches that took place last weekend. So that would be Saturday, Sunday, and I think there was an in the week match as well. So on Sunday, Humber Lion, they defeated Vere 3-love. Mount Pleasant, they defeated Cavalier 2-love. Portmore United and Waterhouse, they played to a 0-0 draw. Tivoli Gardens and Dunby Holding, they played to a 1-1 draw. All right, and on Monday, Malines United, they played Harborview and they defeated Harborview 1-0. Right. So those are the matches that took place as it relates to the Jamaica Premier League. And of course, because tomorrow is the JFF elections, all the games scheduled in the Jamaica Premier League, they have been postponed, right? So that's what's going on as it relates to that. And then, of course, there'll be matches. So now that match week 22 has been completed, then we're now going to go to match week 23, and that's after. So once the elections for the GFF is completed, then they will tell us when the reschedule games, which means the matches. And of course, the Jamaica Premier League, they were so nice because there are no matches on this week, so they were kind enough to send a reminder of past champions. Of course, we've had many champions in the Jamaica Premier League. I mean, I can identify for what I was saying. So Harborview, Tivoli Gardens, Portmore United, and others, right? So those are, and I think Harborview, between Harborview and Portmore United, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think they have the same amount of, one has 4 and one has 5, right? So they're the winningest teams in the Jamaica Premier League, right? So of course, the notice that went out, please be advised that the JFF has given the directive that all games scheduled for Sunday, March 17, 2024 be postponed due to the JFF vote in Congress. The Jamaica Premier League games originally scheduled for that date will be shifted to Wednesday, March 20, and the game scheduled for Monday, March 18 will be played as scheduled. So then I can tell you then the games scheduled for Monday. So Monday in the Jamaica Premier League, Cavalier, they'll play Portmore United, and Arnett Gardens, they'll play Humber Lion, and these matches are at 5 and 7:30, and both matches will take place at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. So interesting things happening as it relates to the JFF. Yeah, I mean the Jamaica Premier League, but we skip right over to the JFF. Finally, people. You guys know I'm very passionate about this side of on this side of the fence on this topic. But the JFF elections, yes, the JFF elections will be held tomorrow. So we look forward to talking about the results. We've heard from both campaign or both persons going up. So of course we have the current president, Michael Ricketts, going up against his current vice president, Raymond Anderson. We've heard Mr. Anderson saying that he has a $350 million sitting down ready to invest in local football. And of course, Michael Ricketts saying that, he will continue the development that he has started as it relates to local football. So we look forward to those results that will be coming out tomorrow after the elections have been held. Also, coming up this week, next week, right? Because we're still in this week. So next week, the Reggae Boys, they'll be playing in the CONCACAF Nations Cup, and they'll be playing USA. But if you listeners would allow me 2 minutes to talk about this important topic again, All right. So we'll be playing in the CONCACAF Nations League. We'll be playing US in the US. Important that, Coach Hallgrimson has said he's looking forward to the performance of the team. But importantly, 2 players are missing from the next game, which is the USA game. Yes, and why they're missing? Because they would have broken curfew hours back when we got that, was it draw against Canada in Canada? Yeah, man. So Leon Bailey, star player, we spoke about him last week being Aston Villa's player of the month. Yeah, man. He has been suspended for one match, as well as Trevante. They've been suspended for breaking curfew hours. And I know we want to say, why them have to suspend the man them, da, da, da. But rules are rules, and the rules were broken, and they have to face the consequences. Does it mean that our chances in this particular game might be, we might not get to progress, or it will decrease the chances of us winning, like the probability of us winning by losing these key players? Yes. But do I think that there are other players on the team that will be able to step up in this instance? I do believe that, and I really, really, truly hope that we will get past the USA. But let's just talk about the 23 member squad that was named by the Jamaica Football Federation. Yes. And as I said, this is, again, the CONCACAF Nations League that is happening, or that will happen. The match comes up on the 21st of March, and that is going to be Thursday. So, if you're still interested in champs will be going on, but in the evening, we will be able to watch the CONCACAF Nations Cup that the Reggae Boys will participate in. So, right. So the squad that has been released in regards to that, goalkeepers Andre Blake, Shaquan Davis, and Jamal Waite. And we have the defenders Richard King, Damian Lowe, Deshaun Bernard, Michael Hector, Dexter Lambaski, Trevon Gray, and Grayley. Midfielders Daniel Johnson, Joel Latibadir, Bobby D. Cardova Reed, which does have an asterisk because I'm sure there were some stories about Bobby Reed possibly being injured. So we'll see how that plays out. Hardy Anderson, Palmer, Cephas, Ronaldo Cephas. Right. Going to the forwards, Corey Burke, Demarai Gray, Shamar Nicholson, Michael Antonio, Jamal Lowe, and Kaheem Dixon. Of course, Kaheem Dixon would have scored his first international goal for the Reggae Boys when we played Trinidad probably about 2 weeks ago. Yes. So that's the squad. And JFF are asking the JFF social media team, is it the next time you guys releasing the names, would you be kind enough to put it in a font that we are able to read? I'm asking. This font is it's not legible for reading. Thank you. Right. So that's what's happening. Of course, the English Premier League is on. There are some matches that have been postponed because I do believe the FA Cup quarterfinals is also on this weekend. So when we come from the break, we're going to talk about that. So we're going to go for a break right here on Sports Talk. We're going to come up. Remember, you guys have a responsibility in terms of listeners. You're listening now. Tell me, going back to the ISA Boys and Girls Championships, tell me which team you're supporting, 876-997-3125, or send it if you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube. Tell me, what team are you supporting? What team do you think will win the championship? Yeah, man. And later on, we'll go down to the score. The score is, if those who are invested in the scores like me, yeah, man, we'll go down to what the predicted scores are. But we'll be right back here on Sports Talk on the family station, Love 101 FM.
Dreaming of a great career or degree? The Caribbean Examinations Council offers regionally and internationally recognized qualifications to help you get there. These include the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, the Caribbean Vocational Qualification, CVQ, Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, and the CXC Associate Degree. These exams may be done while in school or out of school at private learning institutions. Visit cxc.org to learn more. With CXC, you're in control.
Hurt less with Pharma Joint Flex. Taking Pharma Joint Flex daily helps to repair, replenish, and revitalize worn, damaged cartilage that causes joint pain. Do you suffer from arthritis and chronic joint pain? Then Pharma Joint Flex is the remedy for you. Our all-natural formula contains glucosamine and chondroitin, ingredients for joint repair, so you can get relief. Ask your pharmacist or doctor for Pharma Joint Flex, distributed by Massey.
Alrighty. Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM, and we continue with our sports highlights. All right, so in the English Premier League, this morning, Burnley, they would have played Brentford. Brentford ended with 9 men, or 10 men rather. Burnley defeated Brentford 2-1. Luton, they themselves and Nottingham Forest played to a 1-1 draw. And currently, Fulham is leading Tottenham 1-0, and it's now halftime in that game. Now, the games between Arsenal, Chelsea, so these are the postponed games because these teams are participating in the FA Cup. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Manchester United, Sheffield, Wolves, Bournemouth, all those games, they have been postponed because of the teams listed participating in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Tomorrow, Chelsea will play Leicester City in the FA Cup quarterfinals. The game slated tomorrow in the English Premier League now. So Everton, Liverpool, that has been postponed. And Brighton, Manchester City, that also has been postponed due to the FA Cup quarterfinals. So the game that will play tomorrow in terms of the English Premier League is West Ham versus Aston Villa. And that should be an interesting match, especially for those locals looking on, as we do have Leon Bailey and Mikel Antonio playing for either those teams, right? All right, so we move on. We jump right into track and field, not boys and girls championships, but in terms of what happened last week in the NCAA Indoor Championship. Jamaica had 2 winners last week in the Indoor Championship. I mean, the 4 winners. Oh, we had 4 winners. My apologies, guys. See, I'm telling you information that's not there. Right. 4 winners. I should just look at my notes. Right. 4 winners as it relates to the Indoor Championship. And of course, the performance, or the 2 performances that stood out for me, would have been Brianna Liston running another personal best of 7.03 seconds. Right. And to me, I always see Brianna Liston as a top end finisher. So for her to win a 60 meter, yeah, man, big deal. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. And of course, Wayne Pinnock, former Kingston College athlete. And if you want to know, so since we're in the champ season, Brianna Williams started her career in champs at St. Jago High School, but she ended it at the Hydel group of schools. Yes. So since we'll do that. So Wayne Pinnock, former Kingston College athlete, leapt to 8.40 meters in the long jump, which is the world lead, which, if he had been in Glasgow, Scotland, would have won the gold medal. Yes, people. That's how far he jumped. Okay. Right. And then we had Rivaldo Marshall, formerly of Calabar High School, winning in the 800 meters. Yeah. So and then the fourth winner was Romain Beckford winning the high jump. What school did Romain go to? Oh yeah, well yeah, I think Romain. Guys, I'm talking to. We still talk about who I'm talking to or who's talking to me. We still talk about that, right? So and then of course Lamar Distin, she plays second in a very very competitive high jump competition. So we look forward now. And I mean, unfortunately, Akila Smith of Texas, she formerly of Edwin Allen, she got injured in. I mean, and it's sad because I mean Akila would have represented Jamaica last year at the World Championship in Budapest. So I'm hoping it's still early in the season, and I'm now hoping that maybe she's looking towards Paris instead of trying to get better to compete at the NCAA levels. I mean, that's where my headspace is as it relates to Akila. But or um or athletes continue to do well at the NCAA level. As I tell you, when it is that the athletes leave champs, they kind of have one or them don't really have a lot of choices, right? So they decide to either go to college, during the NCAA season, or they decide to stay locally and go professional athlete, or they decide to go to UEU Tech or GC Foster, or Michael. But yeah. But UEU Tech GC Foster is where they normally, go to. And then there are some who just decide that they're not really going to go to the school right now. They're going to put that on pause and they're going to do professional athlete. So, I mean, and then of course, we see persons like Jadon Hibbert deciding still to stay in college, but gone profession or gone pro is what we refer to it as. So he's gone pro, but he's still actively a student athlete. He's still a student athlete. He's just deciding not to compete at the NCAA levels anymore. So don't bother think say he's not, taking the book. He's still taking the book because he's still at Arkansas. He's still at Arkansas going to class. It's just that he's gone pro, so he's not competing on the NCAA circuit. Of course, we've seen also news coming out this week. Since we're still on track and field, we'll just finish this segment. Right. That Jadon Hibbert and Rashawn Watson has confirmed their participation at the Racers Grand Prix, which will come up later this year on May 10th, 2024. So mark your calendars. If you're interested to, go to the Racers Grand Prix, that is it. In terms of, so we skip quickly now to the Carifta team. And if I could find my name. All right. So the Carifta Games will come up in Grenada, Spice Island. So the games will be coming up, and that's on Easter weekend. So, right. So we'll have some track and field entertainment while we focus on the Lord. Amen. So, the squad has been named, and this squad is what I would call a provisional squad, because just in case any unfortunate situation will happen at champs next week, then of course persons who are listed as reserves will have to come in and participate. So in the female side, so we'll do on under 17, under 20, because that's the level that they will participate in. If you want to get an idea in terms of who is under 17 and who is under 20, usually, and it really depends on their age, but usually class 2 and 1, they're usually under 20, and then second year class 2, first year class 1 and above, they're usually under 20. First year class 2, first or second year class 3, they're usually under 17, if you want to understand it that way. All right, so in the female under 17, we will be represented, and again, provisional squad released by the J3As in terms of this is the team that will participate at the Carifta Games. So Natrice East and Pashanali Blake, that's in the 100 meters under 17, under 20. It's Theanali Terrelong and Sabrina Dockery. In the 200 meter, Natrice East and Shania Campbell. female under 20, it's Shanoya Douglas and Sabrina Dockery. In the 400 meter under 17, it's Nastasia Fletcher, Trisha Lee Sutherland, and Britannia Bailey, who will go as a reserve. And in the under 20, Abigail Campbell and Shanique Williams. In the 800 meter under 20, you have Kevon Gay Fowler and Ali K. Reynolds. Under 20 division, Monique Stewart and Kitania Headley. In the 1500 meters, it'd be Ali K. Reynolds and Delia Fairweather. In the 1500 under 20, Rakisha Sims and Kadeen Johnson. The 3000 meters is only competed at the under 20, competed at the under 20 for females. So we're going to be represented by Kadeen Johnson and Ashara Freighter. In the hurdles, 100 meter hurdles for girls under 17 will be represented by Melia Duncan and Angel Robinson. Under 20 will be represented by Habiba Harris and Brianna Campbell. 400 meter hurdles under 17 by Nastasia Fletcher and Alicia Carty. And in under 20, Kellyanne Carr and Alia Mullins. Long jump under 17, Sashana Johnson. Under 20 level, Rohanna Sodlo and Raquel Stanley. High jump, Zevian Bernard in the under 17 level. In the under 20 level is going to be Rashida Samuels and Dejane Bruce. In triple jump, we're going to be represented under 17 by Jada Robinson and Zevian Bernard. And in the under 20 level, Raquel Stanley and Dejane Bruce. Discus by Jamelia Young and Jessica Thompson. That's in the under 17 level. And Deonja Shaw and Najhada Seymour in discus under 20. In the shot put, we're going to be represented by Jamelia Young. And on the 20 level, Kimika Smith. And in the javelin, it's Zoel Jamel. And that's under 17. We have no representative currently listed for the female under 20 javelin. All right, so we'll skip over to the men. And just in case you're wondering what I'm listing out, these are the athletes who have been named provisionally to participate at the Carifta Games in Grenada. And that comes up on Easter weekend. And so now we've just completed the boys. We're going to do the boys. Under 17 for 100 meter, Naron Wade and Malik Nugent. Under 20, Javon Dunkley and Raheem Pinnock. 200 meters, under 17, O'Shane Jervis and Baron Walker. Under 20, 200 meters, Gary Card and Johan Romaldo Smith. 400 meter, Nicoy Bramwell, Paul Henry. That's under 17. Under 20, Marcino Rose and Javon Pinnock. 800 meter, under 17, Keandre Kelly and Alejandro Palmer. And on the 20s, Kimario Bygrave and Usain Bowen. 1500 meter on the 17, Shamar Green and Sakina Brown. On the 20, Kimario Bygrave and Jaquan Coke. In the 110 hurdles, under 17, Michael Dyer and Robert Miller. And in the under 20, it's Shaquille Gordon and Daniel Beckford. 400 meter hurdles, Robert Miller and Francisco Williams. And in the under 20, at the 400 meter hurdles, Shamar Blake and Princewell Martin. Long jump, Ridiki Walters and Amani Phillips at the under 17 level, and Ricoy Hunter at the under 20 level. In the high jump, Patrick Brown at the under 17 level, and Javonte Grant at the under 20 level. Triple jump, Zachary Merchant and Amani Phillips at the under 17 level, and Romaine Lewis at the under 20 level. Discus, Kimari Kennedy and Javonte Smith at the under 17 level, and Shaquan Dunn and Chad Enriquez at the under 20 level. In shot put, under 17, Javonte Smith, and at the under 20 level, Shaquan Dunn and Reggie Hemmings and Brandon Fletcher will represent us at the under 20 level in javelin. So that's the provisional under 20, Carifta Games team that has been produced by the J3s. And of course, this will be updated. As I said, Watch Champs has been completed. Then I'm sure all shall be well, that all of these athletes will not, unfortunately, pick up any injuries or anything next week. So they'll be good to compete. And of course, I think maybe one or two athletes might be added to the squad. So we'll see. But we'll keep you posted as it relates to that. We're going to go for a quick break right here on Love 101. Again, as we come back from the break, we will be previewing Champs 2024. Have some interesting people that we're going to talk to. One is in studio with me and the other is going to be on the phone. So we're going to talk to those analysts. So we're going to go to our break and come right back.
Have you subscribed to Love 101 FM's YouTube channel as yet? No money needed. You just need to type in Love 101 FM in your YouTube search, and when you get to our channel, click on the big red subscription button. It's as simple as that. You'll then see a little bell. Click on it. That way, you'll know when we go live. Yup, you will be informed right away. Love 101 FM YouTube channel. All subscriptions are free, so no worries. Do it today and keep connected to love.
For yourself in us.
The season of Lent runs from Ash Wednesday through to the Easter weekend, and Christians all over the world will make various sacrifices and join extra prayers and special fasts in observance of the most sacred time on the Christian calendar. Love 101 once again joins the Escarpment Road New Testament Church of God for renewal of the mind. After all, this is the aim, that our minds will be changed and revelation for a new mindset will be achieved. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11:05 a.m., on Tuesday at 9:45 a.m., and Saturdays at 12 p.m. for renewal of the mind. A short reminder and devotional that will help to keep your mind focused on the Lenten season. Let us aim to be transformed and discern what the will of God is. Renewal of the mind, right here on the family station, Love 101.
For yourself in us.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Have you subscribed to Love 101 FM's YouTube channel as yet? No money needed. You just need to type in Love 101 FM in your YouTube search, and when you get to our channel, click on the big red subscription button. It's as simple as that. You'll then see a little bell. Click on it. That way, you'll know when we go live. Yup, you will be informed right away. Love 101 FM YouTube channel. All subscriptions are free, so no worries. Do it today and keep connected to love.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Right, yeah. All right, so we're talking about Champs, Champs 2024. It's now 3 days from today, right? So we're gonna talk about that. And joining me Right. Joining me is on the phone. We have sports analyst and somebody who she just knowing now, somebody who I really admire in terms of her coverage. Trishana McGowan. Trishana, good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all your listeners that are listening.
All right, fantastic. And then beside me is also another young sports analyst, Kamal Ford. He was on my show last week. Yes. Kamal, thank you so much for agreeing to come back and be a part of this Champs preview conversation. Before we jump into that, I had asked my listeners to tell me who they're supporting for Champs. So Sophia from Portmore, she said Kingston College all the way. Edna from Montego Bay says Calabar all the way. Let me see if I have any responses. Sonia Brown says Edwin Allen for girls and St. Jago for boys. Right. So we have some mixed reviews, but Shoshana, let's start with you. Who first are you? All right. Which athlete's performance are you looking forward to most at championship? Let's start with that.
Oh wow. Which athlete? I never normally have a specific athlete that I'm looking forward to see. Because for one, I know the work done from September last year and some who would have started prior. But I really just enjoy the various events and how the athletes of these schools, continue to showcase their talent. But I think what I normally do is have an event that I really anticipate that could be good. And that was the Class 3 boys, or that is the Class 3 boys 100 meters. I think despite the absence of the top marksman, which should have been Marquis Page of St. Jago, there will be others who will provide great performances. Mario Ross of Wilmer's boys, Nathan Brown of St. George's, and others will still be on great display. But I think just overall, there's a lot to look forward to on the track and also in the field. The Class 1 boys, triple jump, long jump, and discus throw, shot put as well. So again, I don't normally, like I said, have anything specific because the performances comes from, just all over to give you a wonderful 5 days of spectacle. So, I look forward to all of it.
Okay, great. Kamal, how about you? Whether event or athlete?
I just share the same sentiment as Shoshana. I look forward to an event more so an athlete because I think with overall champs in of itself is very diverse. And when for me this year it would be the Class 2 girls 100 meters with that of Tianali Turlong and that of Sabrina Dockery. Those two athletes have been going at it all season, and it's a situation in which where it will just come down to who is the best when the day comes, and it's going to be probably the most competitive 100 meters race on the girls' side.
All right, so Trishana, you would have, I know, because I follow you. I'm just saying, fangirling right now. You would have been to, I think, most of the championships in terms of Western, Eastern, all of them, corporate, central, all of them, and covered all of them. But in terms of the overall performance of like teams, because are there any teams right now, without putting you on the spot right now to declare a winner, the teams in terms of that might outperform themselves from the performance they gave last year? So any team have come to the fore? Yeah, like
I think without the top placings, there will be schools who will have a very good championship. The one that notable come to mind will be the two schools, Alphonsus Davis, formerly Spalding. They normally have a good outing, but I think this will be a really good one for them, all being well. Mogati will also have should have a good showing. St. George's College with the boys. Am I leaving out anybody that's not in the top 5? I think those will be the schools that I'm looking forward to the most. They have individual talents as well as collectively. Everything should go. If everything should go well for them, we should see them upsetting some of the apricots or just having a good final. As I see these athletes getting to the final,
Right.
which is very important. I think for champs, people sometimes they caught up with the top three finishes, and I tell them that if you have watched Michael Clark when he had at Jamaica College or St. Jago and Calabar in recent years, the finals are important. Once you're in the finals, even if you're not finishing top three, but you have two persons in those events, you can make a difference. So for me, outside of the Edwin Allen, Kingston College, JC, and Calabar, I'm looking to Alphonsus Davis as well as Magate.
All right. Come on. How about you?
And Mushet.
And Mushet. Okay. All right.
All right. So for me, one particular school that I've been paying attention to that is actually getting better each season is that of Excelsior. I think David Riley is doing a pretty good job with them, especially the boys with the 4x4. I think that event with the Excelsior boys, again, 4x4 is an open event at Champs, and it should provide a lot of excitement to know we're expected to see JC and Kingston College go after it, but Excelsior, if anything should go wrong or anything like that, Excelsior should provide an upset on that event. But overall, their team looks good, and David Riley is doing a pretty good job with them, both on the girls and on the boys side. I think corporate champs actually won on the girls side, which should be a motivational factor for them heading into the championship.
All right, so we're gonna take a little break. So we're gonna go to a break and we're gonna come back, but we're gonna continue our champs preview talks, and I'm going to put Kemal and Trishana in the spot when we come back. Just give me a moment. Let's just take the break. Let's pay some bills and come back. We'll be right back right here on Sports Talk on the Family Station, Love 101.
Chances are you're sitting in your car right now, or even a taxi, and you're stuck in traffic. But if you had a Flow prepaid plan, you would have unlimited data for navigation apps, so you could avoid much of the traffic and find a better way. So you would avoid bad driving Bobby to your right, who is boring into your lane, and seeing Sasha, who doesn't realize everyone can see her. Now, Flow's unlimited social and talk prepaid plans come with unlimited data for navigation apps and more TikTok data and any use data. Get a 7-day Flow prepaid plan for only $950.
Are you being afflicted by unexplained illnesses, depression, or wounded from past traumas? Come experience your breakthrough at Healing War Room, a healing and prayer conference by Healing Rooms Jamaica, Saturday, March 16 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the St. Andrew High School AV Center, featuring speakers Dr. Arlene Rose Lewis, Pastor Bruce Kennetson, Pastor Mark Wedderburn, and Bishop Alesta Dillon. Registration at $2,000 or $20 US. Lunch included. Join in person or online. Register now at healingroomsja.com.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the Family Station, Love 101 FM. Right. Okay, right. So we are still joined by track and field analyst and one of my favorites, I have to say that all the time, on the phone, Trishana McGowan. And of course, Trishana also participated in champs, right, Trish?
Yes, I did. I have a silver medal in the 4 hurdles.
See that, yeah, man.
And high school.
Yes, for the Saint Ange.
The greatest.
Whoa.
That's debatable.
No doubt.
And of course, young sports analyst Kemal Fuller. But let's go to the people on the Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, man, they're talking to me. So let's see what they're saying. Right, let's see what they're saying. So, Swift says stats all the way. Dwayne Tracy says JC for me straight. Kadeen Barnett says my school. Oh, Magati, when Trishana was talking about Magati. Yeah. So Kadeen Barnett also says Calabar and Homewood. Kadeen, how many schools are you supporting? Pauline Brown says C-Bar. All right. So we get those out of the way in terms of, who is supporting who. So in this last segment of the show, we're gonna be talking about just in terms of some history as a racial champ. So quick, easy question, Trishana. Who is the winningest school in girls champs?
Winning a school, I have not a clue. I think it's either Jake or Bear. I don't remember.
Come on, do you
Is
know?
it Bear
It's
technical?
VTech.
Yeah, Veer on the girl side. On the boy side,
Yeah.
who is the winningest? No,
Casey. No, it can't be Casey. Casey is there to win. Could be Casey.
yeah, man.
It's Kingston College because I think they're going for their.
30-30.
I don't remember which number. It's a big number that they're going for again
3-5.
this year.
3-5.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah,
Right.
35. Yes, come on, get it right. Come on, man. All right. So, in terms of these top schools, so let's talk about the chances now of the top schools. Defending champions. So we start on the girls' side with you, Trishana. On the girls' side, we have defending champions Heidel. Talk about their chances and talk about Edwin Allen trying to win their 10th title for this season.
Let me start with the reigning champions. I think that last season they had a very good outing and capturing the central title as well as going on to win champs by a mere margin. Nevertheless, a win is a win. I applaud the Corey Bennett and the Ferry Base team to get the job done. However, to win anything, it requires depth. And I think this year, that's where they're lacking. They're not lacking the quality. I think they're lacking the depth to get by Edwin Allen, who should, all being well, go on to win their 10th title. They have the quality. They have the depth. Nevertheless, I think that Heidel will be on good display in a number of events. They have a very young crop of ladies, class 4 and class 3, who I am looking forward to seeing. And if they should do well, that will send me now the signal I need as I look to the 2025 season, because at this point I'm not focused on champs because I would have seen all that at the meet. So it's more looking to see what Heidel will have on display in their young talent pool this year at the championships as they look to 2025. Because Edwin Allen showing their hands, they can pick and choose, I think, and get a number of 1-2s in some events. But again, I think that despite them not standing a great chance of, looking to retain their title, Heidel, that is, they should pose challenges and make it difficult in some events, I think, for Edwin Allen, who should go on to win their 10th title.
All right. Nice. I love that because, I mean, I think it's also of that view that I don't think Heidel has the depth, and I know mishaps for Edwin Allen last year, and we don't want to dwell on those things, but the mishaps from Edwin Allen last year would have allowed Heidel to win their title.
When the mishaps happen, the mishap was, is one way to look at it, but I think that when you're reigning for long, in sports, you can become a bit complacent. And when I spoke with Coach Michael Dyke, he spoke about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The captain, Monique, spoke about that a lot. So it's not just the mishaps or injuries per se. It's maybe, not realizing that, Heidel is really on our heels. And despite everything, we have to keep the tempo. And I love that for our sports. And I want to see the boys section getting back to that.
Right.
Because sports in Jamaica, if you watch it closely and you watch the sponsorship and everything that the business aspect of it, having a runaway winner, it doesn't do well for the product.
Marketing, yeah.
But again, I credit to Corey and his Heidel team for challenging and getting the job done last year. And they will create some fireworks again this year, even if they're not to lift the trophy come Saturday night.
Definitely. All right, Kamal, talk to me now. You have the boys section, which I think is, I don't know if it's the easier section. I know how passionate Trishana was about the girls section, which is why I gave you the boys, Kamal. But talk to me. So it's Kingston College, Calabar, JC, the regular suspects. Talk to me about so let's start with Casey, so that people don't think that I'm biased. So let's start with Casey.
So Casey is strong as they were last year. Again, as Trishana said, it's a situation in which where sometimes in sports, like when teams are winning, one team is winning for so long, it kind of creates a level of, it kind of creates a level of, I would say, it's more predictable. Champs this year is predictable. However, looking where Jamaica College is concerned, the distances are belong to Jamaica College in the sense that they have a lot of strong athletes. Where the boys class 100 meters is concerned, one athlete I'm extremely concerned about is that of Hector Benjamin, who is should be heading into the championship for the class 1 boys 100 meters with that of DeAndre Daly of Herbert Morrison Tech. And overall, I just believe that it will all depend on how think JC can potentially score more points. However, I believe that Casey will still defend their title by a good margin.
And then the chances of the
Calabar,
yeah,
Calabar is getting there again. I remember last year Corey Bennett says they're trying to build a more consistent team, and Calabar has maintained its third place since about 2019. They're about, which is showing that they're doing well. It's about the youngsters, the class 2 and 3 young men, working on them, ensuring that when they reach class 1 and 2, reach 6 1 thereabout, they can be able to lift the trophy again once more. I think the last time the one was in 2018, way back. I was in high school at the time when they won. And the thing about it is that's for them to remain consistent, don't give up, and just knowing that their time will come. However, it takes a lot of work to reach back at that state, because Calabar was in that position. We're just winning, and then Jamaica College won in 2021.
Right. I think in terms of the boys section for me, Kingston College, I think, will not have a lot of winners at champs, but Trishana made a point earlier about getting people in the finals.
Points.
The points will count for Casey. So you're not gonna see in based on how I've tracked them this season, you're not gonna see a lot of them winning events, but the 3rd place and the 4th place and the 5th place, those points are going to add up when it comes down to Saturday night. In the rates of Calabar is still rebuilding. As far as I can see, there's still a team in rebuilding mode. Corey Bennett is still doing his work there. You're seeing
multitasking.
And I always try to figure out, but maybe I can ask Trishana. She spends a lot of time on the local scene, with these athletes and coaches. So maybe Trishana, you can tell me how you think, do you think that Calabar or Hydel suffers, seeing that Corey Bennett has to share the time? How does it work? You can tell me how the mechanisms work, how them work that out.
I think for me initially, when I heard that Corey was applying for the job, I had my reservations. However, having gone to the training sessions last season and again on Thursday of this week, and just watching him in his element with both teams, it's truly remarkable. But the thing about sports and the thing about life, to navigate, you need to make sure that your backup or your right hand is competent. And I really, really applaud him for having competent coaches, assistant coaches, and coaches in the different areas for both the boys and girls teams that will, that are able to sail the ship even if he's not available. When I was with them this morning, both teams training sessions went smoothly without, his presence. The assistant coaches for both the teams were able to carry that. And you need that, again, within sports to have any level of success. The right hand must be able to be on the same page as you. They're not you. And I credit him for making sure that, to take on tasks of both teams, he hired, or, the school hired enough people, or competent people, for choice of a better word, so that things are done to their liking to get the results that are necessary.
And I'm glad you made that point, Shoshana, because I think one of the things is that we would have seen over the years. I mean, my little years that I have, I don't have much as Shoshana, and Kamal does not have as much as me. So we're balanced. We're a balanced group this afternoon.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, I would have seen that they're head coaches who their thing is to just be a head coach. They don't have their coaches I would have seen. They don't really have the championship metal type of coaches. So they're a good coach and they produce good athletes, but championships is just not their thing. And one coach kind of stands out to be as it relates to that particular thing. And then there's coach like Corey Bennett and Leafa Green who they have the staff. So they just go in and then they're like
Yeah, but in order to have the staff, you have to have the support of the schools or the old boys or old girls to provide that.
That is true.
And a lot of schools suffer at the expense of relying on the school. The schools simply just don't have the funding to take on that task.
That is true, and that's one of the things I think. And I'll bring you in, Kemal, on this point because school funding is very important. People who are listening, to bring a team to champs is not $1. It millions. These schools have to spend millions of dollars, and you hear the top schools, the KC, the JCs, they talk about how much they have to pour into the team because it's not champs is only 5 days, but these teams have been preparing from last year August, and they have to keep the programs, keep the athletes fed, and all of that. It don't take $1 to do that. But let's talk about in terms of for you, Kamal, 5 days of championships coming up, and we have a few minutes left on the show. What you're anticipating? Where's your anticipation level at? Like, it's the biggest thing in high school.
So for me is that I think champ signifies the starting of the Jamaican track and field season. It signifies it because you understand after champs we head into Carifta and various meets and a whole. And I think overall champs brings a level of excitement even if you didn't attend and it's still a champ school per se. I attended St. Andrews Technical High School. I remember only one person from champ did well when I'm a tenure. That was Aisha Champagne when she won the HEP in 2015. And overall, I'm excited. I'm just eagerly anticipating these athletes, hoping that they can perform well, injury-free, and just knowing that we can see a lot of big names. A lot of these athletes who are being under the radar make a name for themselves. And I'm all for upsets in champs, like good upsets in the sense that athletes come out of just nowhere and manage to win medals.
Right. And Trishana, how about you? Because I know personally, again, I said you are around the athletes. You spoke about being with the Heidel and Calabar team. So you, I think, more than me, maybe a little bit more invested in terms of the overall performance. But how do you feel going into, it's now 3 days away, 5 days of championship? What's your feeling?
I mean, tired. I am extremely tired between, just my own personal stuff as well as other job doing and preparing. I have coverage, so it's for me. I prepare like the athletes and the coaches, and so it requires a lot because I never want it to be from my perspective, but more so from them. So I try to spend a lot of time to know. But I am excited again. Surprisingly. That after doing it for so long, I still get, I do. And the minute I'm no longer excited about it, that's when I know, Hubert would say, he soul rest in peace, Hubert Lawrence, he always asks me, he always said, if you're not showing up and it's not consuming you, that means you no longer love it. So the fact that I look forward to it and I'm excited about it, that's telling. And for me, again, it's not just about, just those getting to the final. But the entire atmosphere, just watching the athletes who finish 8th in a heat that will not advance. But I know that deep down, I'm like, so she or Imagobe or next Olympian. That gives me such great joy to be in their presence because it has been proven that it's not just our champions that go on to become world and Olympic champions, but those that we sometimes not paying attention to.
The non-superstars. That's what I call them.
Yeah. I look forward to them. I'm like, and I know the work they would have done to have gotten the qualification and be a part of their team and representing over the 5 days. So, while I am tired and trying to find a window at some point to get some rest, I'm just as excited. I'm nervous. I get nervous for the athletes, and I'm like, woo!
Me too.
Like, once we hit that final, I get nervous. Once the sprint hurdles and the 4 hurdles are about to run heats and finals, I get a bit anxious because I know for the obstacle races, it can be tough.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I get nervous, I get anxious because, you have those who they work really hard to get here, and sometimes the moment get to them, and it just don't go as planned. So
Yeah.
it's tough, but it's all rewarding at the end of Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Trishana, I want to thank you so much. Maybe we can have a chat sometime during the championships next week. We'll see each other at the stadium. But thank you so much for coming on. I really, really, really appreciate it, Kamal. Thank you so much to our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into Sports Talk. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101. Thank you guys so much. And I'll
Thank
see
you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome. We'll see you next week. We're gonna have a special show in terms of talking about champs, so, covering for the 5 days. We're gonna be, doing that. So listen out and keep abreast of what's going on. Tell me, how you feel. We'll be almost into the final day, or we'll be into the final day by the time the show will air next week. So looking forward to that. Again, we do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station. This has been Sports Talk. Thank you so much for tuning in.